I love to make sprouts. Sprouts are really good because when you have a seed and when it's first sprouts, it's very potent, full of phytonutrients. Remember, phyto means plant, nutrient is just the nourishment. So you can think of it as plant vitamins. You get a lot out of a seed or a sprouted seed. My husband has taken over the role now, so he does it more than I do. So sometimes he has to remind me how to do it. So we always laugh about that. So we make sprouts. I use Sprout House. We just buy these on Amazon.com. I use a mix of the alfalfa, there's clover, radish, and broccoli. But if you go to Sprout House, you can get broccoli sprouts if you just like broccoli, or alfalfa, but I like the radish sprouts because it adds a little bite to the sprouts. So what you do is you grab the seeds, it comes completely full, and I just take a regular spoon and I put about 2.5 tablespoons of sprouts, or 2.5 of these guys spoons into a sprouting jar. So this is our sprouting jar. Again, you can buy that. I think I bought this at a grocery store in Roots in Clarksville, Maryland, but you can buy this at Amazon. So this is a sprouting jar, and what you do basically is you put those 2.5 tablespoons of sprouts inside, and then you just fill them with water to soak them. So I just soak them because you want to soften the seeds. So it takes about 4 hours to soften the seeds, depending on the size of the seeds. Sometimes you could do it for 24 hours. Sometimes you can forget and just do it for 24 hours, no big deal. And so then after that 24-hour period of them being soaked, you want to drain them out. So it has little ridges on it, or holes in it, so you can drain it. And then you want to drain it and try to drain it fairly well. And so they're going to be wet, no big deal. And then you want to leave it in your sprout jar, sort of like that. So the goal of putting them at an angle is you don't want the water to sit on the seeds because that's going to mold them. And then you put it inside a bowl, that's become our sprouting bowl, and you just cover it with a towel. And it takes a few days to germinate the sprouts, and you will see them even after day 1. And so you leave it there overnight, and then sort of twice a day, you take them out of there, put them back in the water, rinse them, drain them again, and then again, put them back like this in the bowl and cover them up. About 3 or 4 days later, you're going to have this whole thing, just with 2.5 tablespoons, is going to be full up to about here, which is awesome. Then usually what we do is we put them in the sun for a day because you want them to green. When they green, they're also more potent, so that's good. And then we use them. You can rinse them. You don't have to rinse them. I usually just grab them out of there and we put them into a bag. And usually we put them in a Ziploc bag and just cover them with a napkin to keep them fresh. Put them in the fridge. And then my favorite breakfast is usually hummus and sprouts in the morning. So I eat a load of sprouts and some hummus on some multigrain bread. And this becomes my favorite breakfast in the morning. So I hope you enjoy and hope you make sprouts. It's the Breakfast of Champions.